Greetings to all you great folks out there in the interwebs. Welcome to another episode of Bus Thoughts with Brother Beard. Good day. I'm Brother Beard. There is the school bus. And I wanted to continue the thoughts that I had yesterday. Yesterday, of course, I was telling you about some of the different rules that buses have to follow that the average car driver does not. Well, something else about school buses, and this is why folks hate to get behind them and everything, is because we tend to move a little bit slower than everybody else does. It's partly because you've got a 50,000-pound vehicle that's trying to start and stop, and that takes a whole lot of time. But also, there's a word that gets drilled into us in our training, and that word is deliberate. You see, when we're driving these buses, we have to be deliberate in everything that we do because it takes so long for things to happen. It takes a long time for a school bus to come to a complete stop. It also can take a long time for us to change lanes, for us to turn. We have to turn wider. And, there's the small matter of having 40 to 50, 60 plus lives that are dependent upon us. If a school bus driver makes a bad decision, then that can potentially impact, like I said, 60 or more lives can be changed based on one simple decision. And so we have to be very deliberate in what we do. That's why you see school buses slowing down and stopping long before they actually get to the red light. That's why we have to take the wide turns and be vigilant, watch everything. We're told to have a 4 to 6 second following distance behind cars in front of us. We're told to watch 12 to 15 seconds down the road because we have to be able to react and to be able to make a decision because it takes a long time for anything to happen. And we have to be deliberate in what we do on the school bus. Well, Christians, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to live a life that honors God, and if you're going to be successful in this life, you too have to be deliberate because there are so many things clamoring for our attention. There are so many things that are trying to lead us astray and take us away from God's will that we have to really, really be careful in what we choose and in what we do. The word again is deliberate. To act with wisdom, to act with prudence. That's a good refrigerator word that you can stick in your back pocket and use later. And in fact, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 13, verse 16, we read about prudence. It says that every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool displays folly. A prudent man. Could read that as a wise man, an intelligent man, a person who knows what they're doing, acts with knowledge, makes good decisions. That means thinking before you act, weighing consequences, looking at all of the information and trying to come to the best decision that is possible. Now, there are obviously going to be times that you are going to have to make snap judgments and make quick decisions, but hopefully you can have a baseline knowledge. Just like when we are driving these school buses, we have training. We are told that in this situation, here's what you need to do. And while that training can't possibly cover every single situation, we have at least enough baseline knowledge that when something happens, we can act quickly based on the knowledge that we have acquired and on the wisdom that we have gained through experience. Now, as Christians, we gain knowledge, obviously, by spending time with God, by reading the Bible, by meditating on the Bible, by spending time in prayer, going to church, Sunday school. All of these things build our knowledge, but also there's that little part about wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge that is applied. Okay, so knowledge is knowing about something. Wisdom is knowing how to use that something, how to put that knowledge into practice. And that's where that prudence comes in, that we learn from our mistakes, we learn from the mistakes of others, and we build up that knowledge base that we can then turn and choose what is right, what is edifying, as we talked about yesterday. because we want to be prudent. We want to act with knowledge because we don't want to be fools. Fools run around and they make poor decisions, they make bad choices, and bad choices can always and always do lead to worse consequences. I am constantly astounded when I see people who make the Band-Aid decision. Well, this is a big, big problem, but I'm just going to slap a coat of paint on it and it's going to look better for a little while, and that will allow me to ignore it for a little while longer. And what happens? The problem gets worse and it ends up being a bigger disaster in the end. So Christian, you need to act, and when I say you, I definitely mean me, need to act with deliberate intent when we are going through life. To be prudent, to make our decisions based on knowledge, and not just knowledge that we have gained from life, but knowledge that we have gained from the Father in heaven. Because when we act on his knowledge, when we act on his wisdom, it's going to have a better outcome than when we just make a snap judgment and act how we feel. That right there has caused more grief than anything. Well, this is what I feel, or this is my truth. That just irritates me to no end. I'm going to talk about that at some point. But instead of acting on our knowledge or this is my truth, we act on the knowledge of God, the wisdom of God, and act on his truth. And so when you are faced with a decision today, this week, this month, heck, for the rest of your life, take a second. Be deliberate in the way you go about making that decision. Don't just make a snap judgment, because those quick decisions could lead to far-reaching consequences. And of course, we want to act as a prudent man and not as a foolish man. I really hope y'all have a great day. Love y'all. Look forward to seeing you again real soon.